everybody, and welcome to the Red Bear Farm. Today we want to talk about something that's on everybody's mind. It's been spring, it's been nice and warm and sunny, and everybody wants to get their garden started. We're going to talk about garden beds. One of the reasons we like to use raised bed is because we're gardening in Houston area where the soil is not very good. It's a very hard clay, and using a raised bed allows us to control our media. We can put exactly what we want in the soil, and we know exactly what's in there. We're trying to be very organic, and so we're not using any harsh chemicals. The other reason we use a raised bed is because it drains a lot faster, it drains better, and if you are living in a colder climate, it allows you to have a longer growing season. For us in Houston area, that means we can actually garden in the winter. We can plant our cold winter vegetables like cabbages, Brussels, onions, garlics, and it's visually more pleasing to have everything more organized in the garden beds. The other reason we use in raised beds is it's a lot more comfortable. You can sit on it, you can plant your seeds, you can also weed or just simply admire your beds. There's lots of different varieties of how and out of what kind of materials you can build raised bed. We choose in our case a cinder block. It's easier to build, it's a larger, more permanent beds, but there is lots of varieties. You can build them out of wood, you can even use raised containers, pretty much whatever you have available. The other reason we use raised beds is because if you live in a colder climate, you can start gardening earlier. Obviously, we live in Houston, so we have a very long garden season, but that allows us to also use our beds in the winter. We can grow winter vegetables like cabbages and radishes and herbs, and it also drains better, so it's better all around for us. And again, we choose cinder block, but there is also a variety of containers. If you live somewhere when you can only have a garden pots, this is a great example of what we did here with the decorative basil. These are just regular architectural, beautiful looking pots that we plant boxwood basil. It looks beautiful, it looks very modern, and it's really great for cooking. As you can see, even in our garden where we have lots of garden beds, in-ground and raised beds, we're still using lots of pots. But we're going to show you today how we actually build our two-level CMU block garden beds. As you can see, they're staggered and have a caps on top of it, so you don't have those visible holes. It makes it a lot easier to sit on them, and also it's easier for the height. We have 2 levels and we have 3 levels, but today we're going to show you how to build a 2-level one. As you can see, most of the beds we use in our garden are 2-level beds. We also have 1 level for potatoes and 3 level for the berries. This is where we place in our next bed, and this is pretty straight, pretty flat surface. In some areas we don't have a flat surface, so we leveled everything with decomposed granite, which is better than leveling with sand because that actually grabs a little bit better and it doesn't move. And I'm using a string to make sure that our dimensions are correct and that everything is straight. We are ready to start here. As you can see, we have our CMU blocks ready to go. We have our decomposed granite. And we're going to use decomposed granite only in the areas where we need to level the bricks out, just to make sure that it's all flat and level. First level is complete, and now we're ready to use the second level. What we're going to use to connect them is a liquid adhesive, liquid nails or any other really construction adhesive would work for that purpose. We apply adhesive on the longer sides and do a little zigzag on joints, and then we'll stagger the bricks on top of that. We attach the caps in exactly the same way right on top of the CMU blocks using construction adhesive. We are simultaneously building a 1-level bed for our berries as well here. We're doing exactly the same thing. We're aligning them and we'll attach caps on top of it. And as you can see, the first bed, the 2-level bed, is ready to be filled up. So as you can see, guys, the bed is completely finished. We let it dry for a couple of hours while we were resting in the middle of the daytime. And now we're ready to fill it up. What you already seen it on the bottom is some of the leaves that we dropped in. My husband brings some documents from work that we shredded and put it in there. And we're ready to fill it up with anything you have laying around in the garden. Grass clippings, leaves, old newspaper, carton boxes, branches, any kind of green kitchen scraps, everything can go in here. We're gonna try to fill it up, about half of this up to the first brick, with everything that we can find in the garden, and then the rest of it we'll fill it up with the soil. One level CMU bed is layered with the carton boxes before we put mulch or soil. As you can see it right here, Tim is breaking down any kind of clumps or any other things in the soil itself, and it's ready to be completely filled up. There is no garden material or any kind of a debris that goes in here. Here's a partially filled up bed with the garden clippings, soils, just leaves, pretty much everything we could find, carton boxes. We're ready to fill it up with the dirt now.
All right, we've got the bed that's half full now with compost, green waste, and cardboard. So the next step is that we are going to put in some amendments just to make it a little bit richer. This is predominantly blood meal, but it also has some bone meal and azomite tossed in there. The azomite will provide the micronutrients, the blood meal will provide nitrogen, while the bone meal provides phosphorus. Now you don't want to breathe too much of this. Azomite is powdered rock and can get into your lungs. So you probably should be wearing a mask or just very cautious. But it's kind of hard to overdo it, because it is fairly low on nitrogen and all the other materials, unlike the synthetics. Just toss it in there, and we'll mix it up in a little bit. It looks like a fair bit, but it's also a very large bed. And there's going to be a lot of dirt. This is slow release.
After soil amendments, we added more compost on top and thoroughly watered. And I also want to show you how much it actually cost us to build this kind of a bed. The beds are 4 by 12 feet, and the total cost for us was $114, which is a lot lesser cost than any other materials, not including the dirt. As you can see, this is a really good return on your investment. I hope you find this video very useful and look to seeing you soon on our website or on our channel. Thank you. Bye-bye.